To be the legislation itself. It has to be big and bold and strong. If Republicans work with us to get good, strong legislation, yes. But I agree with you. I've made these arguments in numerous places. Look at 2008, where we spent a year and a half trying to get something good done, ACA, Obamacare, and we didn't do all the other things that had to be done.
Folks, so it means a lot to me if you guys can subscribe to my channel. Everybody, let's get into the most important news first. Joe Manchin confirmed Sunday that he would not vote for President Biden's $3.5 trillion spending plan. Joe Manchin, everybody, holds a key vote in the narrowly divided Senate. He was asked by CNN about Chuck Schumer saying that he will move full speed ahead with the package. Joe Manchin responded and said he will not have my vote on $3.5 trillion, and Chuck Schumer knows that.
We will not repeat that mistake. We will not repeat that mistake. You are right. I think of just what you think all along. And it's a different time. The antidote is constructive, strong action by us, by the government. That's the answer, so that when the appeals to bigotry and nastiness and divisiveness are thrown at the American people, people will say, no, we're making good progress. Let's stick with this. But if we don't make progress, bad, bad, bad. We can have really bad solutions. Really bad outcomes, rather.
In the middle of a time when senior poverty is increasing, Republicans and some Democrats came up with a brilliant idea for cutting cost of living adjustments for Social Security. We said it will be over our dead bodies.
So in another interview, Joe Manchin questioned why Democrats are pushing the legislation at such a fast pace. In fact, Joe Manchin told NBC, "We don't have the need to rush into this and get it done within 1 week, because there is some deadline we're meeting, or someone's going to fall through the cracks. I want to make sure that children are getting taken care of, that people are basically having an opportunity to go back to work. We have a total of 11 million jobs that we haven't filled. 8 million people are still unemployed." What do you think about Joe Manchin, folks? Is he the one holding back our stimulus payments? He already said many times that he will not approve President Biden's new stimulus bill. So is Joe Manchin holding back the stimulus checks, folks? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now everybody, for Bernie Sanders, this is what he's saying about the fourth stimulus bill, as well as Joe Manchin. Bernie Sanders said, "It's absolutely not acceptable to me. I don't think it's acceptable to the president, to the American people, or to the majority of the people in the Democratic caucus. This is a consequential bill. It is hard to put a bill like this together. And at the end of the day, I believe we will." So folks, the massive $3.5 trillion 10-year plan would address a number of Biden's priorities, like education, climate change, and immigration. Joe Manchin urged Schumer to slow down and give lawmakers more time to discuss the spending bill and how it will be funded. Bernie Sanders said he's willing to give lawmakers more time to discuss the package, but insisted that time is ticking. House Democrats want to raise the corporate rate to 26.5% as part of nearly $3 trillion in tax increases to defray the cost of the next big spending package, which while boosting the top rate for individuals to 39.6%. And everybody, the Ways and Means Committee is also planning to call for a new 3% surtax on people making more than $5 million, as well as increasing the top capital gains to 28.8% from 23.8%. Representative Richard Neal also wants to raise taxes on multinational corporations, overseas profits, tie to state tax rules, and pared back deductions for some unincorporated businesses. The representative wants new limits on supersized individual retirement accounts, additional restrictions on deduction companies take for highly compensated employees, and new watch sale rules for people who own cryptocurrencies. Taken together, these proposals would be the biggest tax increase in decades, and appeared to be enough to cover most of what even progressive Democrats hope to spend on their coming reconciliation package. Lawmakers want the money to finance a dramatic expansion of the government's social safety net. The proposals, everybody, said to be formally unveiled as soon as Monday, would also amount to a major step forward for Democrats, as they sort out their plans for what would likely be the most consequential legislation of the Biden administration. And Neal's proposals, which are sure to be controversial, will be his chamber's opening bid negotiations with the Senate as they consider a menu of possible tax increases. And the Democrats' proposal to increase the social safety net through the $3.5 trillion reconciliation budget bill is taking shape. The House Ways and Means Committee, which is responsible for writing up the tax provisions, released a 645-page portion of their proposal. Included in the newly released section is a 4-year extension of the changes to the child tax credit for the 2021 fiscal year. As well, more children will now be eligible to receive the monthly advance payments, with the requirement for a child to have a social security number dropped. The proposal by the House Ways and Means Committee will extend the changes made to the child tax credit in the American Rescue Plan until 2025. The monthly advance payments per child of $250 for those 6 to 17 and $300 for kids under 6 would continue over the next 4 years. In order to continue receiving the payments in the coming years, families will be required to reaffirm the eligibility each year. The IRS will maintain the online portal if created for parents to update their information as their financial or family situation changes. But children may still be automatically enrolled for the advance payments, based on the information obtained from the government programs or birth records. Folks, that's all the news in this video. If you found this video useful and helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family, and give this video a like.
Let me thank Senators Murphy and Lee for their excellent work on this very, very important piece of legislation. I think it is clear that in the midst of the climate crisis, the issue of war and peace may not be on the front burner, and people may have taken their eyes off of it. But this is an issue of enormous consequence which must be addressed, and in this very important piece of legislation, we do just that. Let us never forget those times in history when our country tragically was led into wars that never should have been fought, and where tens of thousands of brave American troops lost their lives. In many cases, those wars were based on the lies of administrations, and it was based on the fact that the United States Congress did not ask the important questions that the American people wanted to have asked.